Hello travelers, welcome to Porto, a city where history meets modernity hand in hand. In just 2 days, we'll explore classic, Baroque, and modern architecture, taste delicious local food, and soak up the vibrant culture. From the beautiful decorated São Bento Station to the Pinterest Ribeira district, let's dive into everything Porto has to offer. This is Trailblazing Adventures, where we offer you itineraries, recommendations, and tips for unforgettable adventures. Porto welcomes us with the incredible São Bento Station, often considered one of the most beautiful decorated train stations in the world. As soon as you step inside, you're greeted by over 20,000 blue tiles that adorn the walls. These stunning tiles, created by artist Jorge Colasso and completed in 1916, depict various scenes from Portuguese history and everyday life. You'll see key historical events such as the Battle of Valdebez and the conquest of Ceuta. Additionally, there's a beautiful depiction of the procession of the Virgin, from Our Lady of Bandoma, Porto's patroness saint, to the venerated Virgin of Fatima. The Virgin Mary holds particular veneration in Portugal. The station itself is more than just a transit hub, it's a virtual journey through time. Our next stop is the NH Collection Porto Battaglia. Centrally located and perfect for exploring the city, this hotel falls into the premium price category. Find out in our YouTube review if we think it's worth the price. At the hotel, we were welcomed with complimentary drinks and pastries. Since we arrived before check-in, we left our luggage with the concierge and set out to enjoy our first day in Porto. Our lunch stop was Gazela, a restaurant famous for its cachorrinhos and made legendary by the great Anthony Bourdain in his series Parts Unknown. This place is a must-visit on every food blog about Porto. And as an avid food blog watcher, meeting the waiters and cooks felt like meeting movie stars at the VIP meet and greet. I already knew them all from the screen. As for the food, the cachorrinhos were amazing. Imagine a baguette like bread, perfectly toasted and crispy, filled with homemade sausage, melted cheese, and just the right amount of spicy sauce. Each bite was an explosion of flavors. After Gazela, we needed a sweet treat and a coffee. We stopped by Manteigaria Fábrica Pastéis de Nata in Bolao. This Manteigaria location in Bolao is a bit further from the heavily trafficked tourist spots, allowing you to enjoy pastéis de nata more peacefully alongside the delicious espresso. The pastéis de nata here are simply divine. Crispy, flaky pastry, filled with creamy custard, perfectly caramelized on top. It's the perfect after-lunch pick-me-up, fresh from the oven to your mouth. Next, we headed to the Bolao Market, an iconic market that has been the culinary heart of Porto since 1837. Recently renovated, it retains its box art, architecture, and vibrant atmosphere. As fans of local markets, we love the mix of colors and aromas, the people shopping and chatting with vendors. Bolao was no exception. The market is filled with traditional vendors, many of whom have been there for generations, offering fresh fruits, vegetables, fish, meat, and flowers. We continue our walk down Avenida dos Aliados toward Praça da Lisboa, where we could admire the iconic Clérigos Tower. This Baroque masterpiece, designed by Italian architect Nicolao Nasoni and built between 1754 and 1763, dominates the Porto skyline and is visible from almost every point in the old city. This is not the last time you hear about the genius of Nicolao Nasoni, an Italian artist who left his unique imprint in Porto thanks to his contacts with the Order of Malta. He also designed the loggia, Baroque elements of the Porto Cathedral, and helped with our next stop, the Igreja do Carmo. From Clérigos Tower, we made our way to the beautiful Igreja do Carmo. You can buy tickets costing €5 to visit the crypt and the narrow house in the middle. The visit is worthwhile the price of admission. As usual in our channel, Carmela Sister Maria will guide us through our tour of the church.
Thank you, Walter. This church is actually part of a unique twin church setup, separated by the narrowest house in Porto. On one side, you have Igreja do Carmo, and right next door, Igreja dos Carmelitas. The two churches are separated by the narrow house, built to comply with an old law that prohibited two churches from sharing a wall. This also avoided malicious gossip about a church dedicated to our order and another to our brothers sharing the same property. The first stone of Igreja do Carmo was laid in 1756. The author of the project was architect José de Figueiredo Seixas, but the initial proposal was altered with ideas from your well-known Nicolau Nasoni. Take your time to admire the tiles on the side of Igreja do Carmo. These tiles were added in 1912 and were designed by artist Silvestre Silvestri. They depict scenes alluding to the founding of the Carmelite order and Mount Carmel. The inscription Ecce signum salutis, salus in periculis, translates to, "Behold the sign of salvation, safety in danger." This Latin phrase has deep meaning, praising the cross as a glorious symbol of salvation. Inside, the church is a stunning example of Baroque and Rococo styles. The gilded woodwork, intricate altarpieces, and beautiful paintings create a visually striking atmosphere. One of the notable features inside the church is the figure of Señor dos Passos, our Lord of the Stations, which came from Rome in 1761. This revered image of the Christ carrying the cross is displayed on the left side of the church, facing the altar, and allows worshippers to kiss the feet of Jesus through an opening in the back of the statue. This practice symbolizes devotion and the seeking of blessings. Then visit the church next door, Igreja dos Carmelitas, which features a more classical interior style. It was built before its neighbor, between 1616 and 1628, in a more classic style than its neighbor. I think this church has a special charm and an atmosphere that invites prayer. Go with God and enjoy the rest of your visit to Porto.
Thank you, Sister Maria. Our next stop was the famous Livraria Lelo, established in 1840. This bookstore has become a frequent spot for tourists in Porto. The interior of Livraria Lelo is undeniably beautiful. However, due to its popularity, Livraria Lelo can be quite crowded, even with the €8 ticket that sets a specific time for admission. The bookstore does its best to provide a meaningful experience, including a section showcasing Portuguese authors like Nobel laureate José Saramago. While it might feel like a tourist trap to some, it's unfair to categorize it as such. I recommend a visit as long as there isn't a large wait. We ended our day with a dinner at the modern and sophisticated Mistu. Located in the heart of Porto, Mistu offers a unique dining experience that combines Asian and South American flavors with a Portuguese twist. We enjoy a variety of dishes at Mistu. For appetizers, we had a white fish ceviche and artichoke lasagna served with basil pesto. The Black Angus New York strip was cooked perfectly on point and incredibly flavorful. To finish, we had a delicious seasonal fruit mousse with ice cream, which was the perfect ending to a fantastic meal. After a good rest in our comfortable room at the NH Collection Porto Battaglia, we started the morning with a hearty Portuguese breakfast at Lobito, a place we highly recommend to start your day. Fuel for the strenuous walk we had ahead of us. By the way, if you like what you've seen so far and find this video useful, please give it a like to help us reach other viewers. Don't forget to subscribe for more content about Porto and Portugal. Visit the video description for Google Maps links to the recommended restaurants. Let's continue. Our next stop was the Cathedral of Porto, also known as the Sé do Porto. The plaza in front of the cathedral features the Pelourinho, a medieval stone pillar symbolizing municipal justice. The cathedral, built in the 12th century, showcases a blend of Romanesque and Gothic architectural styles, with a Baroque touch added later in the 18th century by our well-known Niccolò Nasoni. To fully appreciate the cathedral, we recommend purchasing the €3 ticket, which grants access to the museum, cloister, and terrace. It's well worth it. The cloister is adorned with beautiful tiles depicting religious scenes, and the view from the terrace is spectacular. The austere interior of the cathedral is reminiscent of the Romanesque style. Its simple yet majestic stone arches and minimalistic decor create a solemn and contemplative atmosphere. Be sure to check out our detailed video to guide your visit to the cathedral. After visiting the cathedral, we headed to Escadas da Vitória. This area is steeped in history, being part of the old Jewish quarter of Porto. As you walk through the narrow streets, be sure to look back for the exceptional view of the stairs with the cathedral in the background. Climbing the Escadas da Vitória is rewarded with a stunning view from the Miradouro da Vitória. From this viewpoint, you can take in the panoramic view of the city, the Douro River, and the iconic rooftops of Porto. After the viewpoint, walk a few meters along Rua de São Bento da Vitória and stop by the plaque commemorating the Jewish community that once thrived here before their tragic expulsion in 1496. On our way to Ribeira, we stopped at the beautiful plaza Infante Dom Henrique. Here, we admired the neoclassical Palácio da Bolsa, an impressive 19th century building that once served as the city's stock exchange. A short walk from the plaza is the Igreja de São Francisco. Continuing our journey, we arrived at the picturesque Ribeira district. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is famous for its colorful buildings, narrow streets, and vibrant atmosphere. Ribeira is perfect for people watching, enjoying the breeze from the Douro River and taking in the stunning views of the river and the iconic Dom Luís I Bridge. The mix of tourists and locals creates a lively and vibrant environment. We finished our stroll through Ribeira by moving away from the tourist-trap restaurants by the river. Inside the neighborhood, on a narrow street, we had a memorable tapas lunch at Restaurant do Terreirinho. Next, we crossed the iconic Dom Luís Bridge. Built in 1881 and designed by a disciple of Gustave Eiffel, this bridge is a marvel of engineering and offers some of the best views in Porto. Make sure you walk across the top level of the bridge for the amazing views. On one side, you have the vibrant Ribeira district, and on the other, the charming Vila Nova de Gaia. Once across the bridge, we walked along the Douro River in Vila Nova de Gaia to take in the stunning views of Ribeira on the other side. This perspective offers a fantastic panorama of Porto's colorful riverside buildings. During our exploration of Vila Nova de Gaia, we encountered Half Rabbit, an impressive piece of street art created by the Portuguese artist Bordalo II. Porto, with its rich cultural heritage and stunning views, is synonymous with port wine. As wine lovers, we couldn't leave Porto without literally tasting the city and learning more about the rich history of its namesake wine. Among the countless options in Vila Nova de Gaia, we chose Taylor's. We wanted to visit a historic cellar. Although both Taylor's Port and Sandeman are legendary names, Taylor's seemed a better option with its commanding view of the Douro River and the Ribeira district. The visit includes a very comprehensive audio-guided tour and audiovisual demonstrations about port wine and Taylor's history. Port wine, originating from the Douro Valley, benefits from the unique terroir of the region, steep terraced vineyards, and a climate perfect for growing the grape varieties used in port. The wine is fortified, meaning brandy is added during fermentation, which halts the process and leaves residual sugar, giving port its characteristic sweetness. The aging process takes place in large oak barrels, where the wine develops its rich flavors and complexity over time, whether it ages for a few years or several decades. At Taylor's Garden, we enjoyed a tasting experience in an elegant setting with unparalleled views and even a parade of peacocks. The experienced waiter guided us through the tasting. The standard visit includes a tasting of 2 ports, extra dry white and late bottled vintage LBV, and a complimentary can of chip dry and tonic. We also ordered a traditional Old Tawny 30 years old port a la carte. This deeper, more complex port was our favorite of the tasting. Our intention was, after the visit to Taylor's, to watch the sunset from Vila Nova de Gaia at Jardin do Morro. Unfortunately, stormy skies and rain at the end of the day prevented us from doing so. We hope you have better luck and can enjoy this experience on your itinerary. We love Porto, fell in love with it, and hope to return. To learn more about Porto and other cities in Portugal, here are 3 more videos. Happy travels!